So today we got the documentary that was banned worldwide for good reasons by The Projectionist. Original view will be in the link in the description. Subscribe if you are new. Why am I watching this in the fucking squares and this shit's supposed to be a rectangle? Anyways, let's get it.
This is Jim.
The
He's an incarcerated patient at Bridgewater State Hospital for the criminally insane.
Hold the fuck up. Is this nigga naked, my nigga? You got me fucked up. We starting off like this?
And despite appearing in this film completely naked and humiliated,
Oh, nah, bro. What's this shit? What's this shit right here? What the fuck is a titty cut? Like, what type of shit name is that? Titty cut Foley's 1967. God damn, bro. 1967, bro. Bro, I wasn't even thought of yet, bro. I was born in 2003. This shit's back in 1967. We in black and white with this shit.
he never signed a release giving the filmmaker permission to use this footage. And Jim
Dick
was not
slanging and
alone.
everything.
Of
Or
the
maybe,
62
I'm assuming maybe his shit's like all shriveled up and shit. Yo, let me chill the fuck out.
It's
That nigga's old as fuck. We don't know, bro.
who can be identified in this film, many of whom are also shown naked. Only 11 signed releases.
Oh, nah.
Common sense ethics would seem to tell us that this film probably shouldn't be shown to the public, if doing so could harm the inmates who never agreed to appear in it.
Nigga, who released this shit then? What the fuck? Why am I watching this shit? Well, you know, because it's on YouTube. This is what the YouTube recommended me, so it's not my fault why I'm watching this. This is my first time even knowing about this YouTuber, my nigga. I'm not subscribed to him, so who the fuck released this shit? Not me.
But banning the film also seems wrong, because exposing the conditions inside Bridgewater could create public pressure and perhaps lead to desperately needed reforms.
Nigga, are they putting makeup on him?
This
What
was
the
the
fuck?
ethical dilemma that the state of Massachusetts and filmmaker Frederick Wiseman fought over in court for nearly 3 decades.
Damn.
During that time, Wiseman's documentary, Titicut Follies, was banned for general audiences.
Oh.
But it would be a mistake to reduce this story to a virtuous filmmaker being silenced by a corrupt state.
The fuck are they doing to him? Look at that nigga's lip, bro. His lips all fucked up. He's like, God, why am I here?
Because
That nigga looking
as
up.
was-
I don't know what the fuck you did to be in this position, but boy. Hey, bro.
See, respecting
About to
the
see.
inmates' privacy and improving conditions inside Bridgewater were not mutually exclusive. Wiseman could have
They in the
exposed
bathroom?
institution without gratuitously exploiting unconsenting inmates.
Oh, fuck no. You got me fucked up, nigga. I'm not using no bathroom with no nigga watching me, bro. And this nigga has the audacity to turn on the sink for him, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Wiseman could have exposed
You a sick fuck,
the
dude.
institution
I wouldn't, like, bro, my nigga, what?
without gratuitously exploiting unconsenting inmates.
I ain't trying to see all that.
Which leaves us with a difficult and kind of gross question.
What?
If he wasn't trying to protect the inmates or improve conditions,
Oh, he
then
mad.
what was Wiseman's motivation for making Titicut Follies?
I have no idea.
Regardless of his motivations, did the film have a positive or negative effect at Bridgewater?
Probably a positive shit. They was probably liking this shit, bro. This was back in the 60s, so they was probably liking this shit for sure, bro. That's why they recording. Damn, back-to-back ads, bro. Like, god damn, off the rip, boy. Okay. Oh my god. That's a diva. Oh, nah.
As a side
And they mocking him. He said, I can't hear you, Jim. That nigga's yelling loud as shit, bro. And they making fun of him. I can't hear you. That's fucked up. They fucked up. They fucked up, bro.
note, the counter in the corner of the screen is the number of times that the guards have told Jim to clean his room. If you
16?
watch the sequence start to finish, the guards are so incredibly annoying that you want to strangle them.
I bet.
It makes you wonder if it's not the treatment by the staff that's causing the mental illness. As we can see, Jim
Oh,
lives
nah.
in a small cell that's completely barren of anything.
God damn, no bed? Like, you supposed to sleep on the floor butt booty naked? Like, what the fuck?
Clothing. This is because Jim is incontinent, and hosing him in his room down with water is easier than washing his clothes.
Oh, wow.
So when they tell him over and over to keep his room clean, they're either messing with him because there's nothing to clean, Or maybe they're frustrated that his feces isn't ending up in his bucket.
Oh, fuck no. You wonder why he's acting like this. Because y'all niggas treating him bad like this, bro. You guys are playing around with him. Like, this is a place where he's supposed to get help. And you over here teasing him and shit. Like, what the fuck, bro? Get this man some clothes, bro. I'm not even trying to see none of this shit, bro.
He also didn't have toilets.
No toilets?
Unfortunately, we can never know what their motivation was because Wiseman never asks.
Bro, it's a humiliation ritual. He's a part of it. I feel bad for him, bro. Cause why are they recording this man, bro? Man, and I'm not even trying to pause it right there.
Anyone at all. Him and his cameraman just stand there watching, pretending to be invisible.
Oh, no.
But you're probably wondering, with conditions this bad, why on earth would Bridgewater give him permission to film in the first place?
Yeah, why?
Because he did get permission. In fact, Bridgewater wanted him there. And that may be the most terrifying thing about the film. The staff do not seem to
what the fuck are they putting in his nose? What the fuck is that? I just don't, I just got goosebumps. I don't know, bro. What the fuck, bro? I don't like anything going up my shit, bro. Like, what the fuck is that? What are they putting up there?
When a patient refuses to
ew, nah, that shit looks, I'm sorry for pausing, but that shit looks, oh my gosh, why can I feel that?
Example, he's restrained.
Yo, I'm not looking at the screen, dude.
And the doctor performing the procedure is so detached that he casually smokes a cigarette, letting the ash fall into the liquid food.
What?
And he does all of this with a camera rolling just a few feet away.
These niggas sick,
that doesn't mean
dude.
The staff believed Bridgewater was a good institution. They knew the hospital was antiquated, understaffed.
God damn, look at him, bro. You're not letting him eat either, so he's naked and can't eat, can't use the bathroom, can't use the toilet. It's just naked, bro. Like, what the fuck type? What are they doing? They experiment on him for sure, my nigga. Like, what the hell, bro? They look at, what the fuck? My YouTube? On my TV? Chill out. They are experimenting on this dude for sure. Cause what the fuck, bro? I'm seeing bones popping out and shit. Oh, hell nah. And what the Yo, let me chill. Let me chill.
Inadequately trained. But that was exactly why Bridgewater's superintendent became one of Wiseman's biggest supporters.
Really?
He hoped a documentary exposing the hospital's inadequacies might generate public pressure and eventually badly needed funding.
Oh, this is Wiseman?
But the documentary that he thought Wiseman was making was very different from the one he actually made.
Hell no.
It was around a 55-minute educational television program that would be shown on such channels as Channel 2 in Boston and the Channel 2s in other parts of the United States.
There is nothing educational about what you're showing me right now. I'm disturbed more than educated on this. Like, what the fuck? Where's the educational part at?
If Wiseman really did pitch this film as a 55-minute educational program for local television stations, you can imagine the superintendent's shock when he
My brother?
Besides clearly being a commercial film that exploited the horror and strangeness of the institution, it also showed dozens of inmates who were clearly incompetent and weren't capable of consenting to be in the film.
Oh, nah.
That they would not film incompetent men, or that those who were incompetent would be weeded out in the editing process and the censoring process.
That's right. They would be weeded out in the editing and the censoring.
But Wiseman
they probably got
claimed
more
that he
footage.
never made this agreement. He appears to have operated under a much simpler assumption.
Oh, really?
If the institution allowed him to film someone, then he was allowed to use the footage, no matter how shocking or embarrassing.
How often you must today or a week?
Nigga, what type of question is that shit, bro? How often you masturbate a day or a week? Why the fuck do you need to know that? What the fuck? What type of question is that?
Sometimes three times a day.
It's too much.
3 times a day is crazy. What the fuck? Or what the fuck what honey pack did you take? The fuck is this? Hold on. Nope, we getting back.
Identified in the court transcripts only as WW.
WW?
Was competent, but refused to sign a release. Against his will, his full name and face still appeared in the finished film. WW was illiterate when he entered Bridgewater, but after his release, He earned 2 master's degrees and became a counselor.
Oh,
Several
really?
years later, after Titicut Follies was filmed, he learned that his university had secured permission and planned to show it in one of his classes. He objected to the dean, but the screening went forward anyway.
Oh, really? They
During
didn't
a
give a fuck.
1989 hearing, WW testified that the film had cost him work and had become a source of shame and stigma, not only for him, but for his children.
I bet.
And yet, his view
It's
of the
embarrassing.
film was not simple. As he told the court, Wiseman did very good by showing us the ills of the institution. But by the same token, he still deprived me of my rights.
Not facts.
Which raises an obvious question.
What?
Why not simply obscure the identities of the men who never consented?
Because it's all part of a humiliation ritual. That's all it is.
Wiseman rejected that compromise,
Exactly.
partially because it would be an expensive process, and partially because he thought it would lessen the impact of the film.
It's not an expensive process to hide the faces, my nigga. It's just simple. You did it to the body. Why can't you do it to the face?
In a 1989 interview with the New York Times, he said, "The whole point is that these are not faceless people. Their faces reflect the lives they've lived and how they've been treated."
But they didn't give no consent to it. You guys were just recording and annoying them.
In the same interview, the state has a conflict of interest. It asserts that it wants to protect the inmates' privacy rights, but it really doesn't want the public to know how these people are treated.
Right?
That argument made sense in 1967, when Massachusetts was actively trying to suppress the film. But this interview took place in 1989.
Oh, damn.
By then, the state no longer opposed releasing Titicut Follies to the general public.
Damn, that was 22 years later. Shit.
The remaining objections were coming from former inmates, people like WW. Years later, in a 2000 interview, he was asked whether the men in Titicut Follies had been given a choice about appearing in the film. Sure they did, because I asked them. But as we know, he only asked a small number. Wiseman then argued that even if they hadn't consented, he was still legally allowed to put all of the inmates in the film, because the superintendent was their legal guardian, and the superintendent had given him permission to film.
That superintendent is a freak fuck.
Wiseman treated that institutional permission as consent on the inmate's behalf. Wiseman then claimed that he didn't even need the superintendent's permission because he has a First Amendment right to expose what's happening in a publicly funded institution. Of course, this ignores the fact that exposing the conditions inside Bridgewater doesn't require identifying every man confined there, and it certainly doesn't require full frontal nudity from inmates who never consented.
Yeah, I'm not trying to see
There are
that.
dozens of examples just like this, where Wiseman misrepresents the facts to portray a kind of David and Goliath narrative, where he's the little guy who's fighting a corrupt state on the inmate's behalf. But in reality, whenever protecting the inmates came into
Hey, Mouse, you better stop fucking... Bro, why are you moving when I'm not even touching you, my nigga? Like, lock the fuck in. Now you want to pop up on the screen so you can get some watch time. You weird as fuck, dude. You weird as fuck, Mouse.
conflict with protecting the film, he chose the film. Wiseman's willingness to put the film ahead of the people involved also applied to the filming process itself.
Oh, really?
When asked how he could witness such terrible treatment at Bridgewater without putting down the camera and intervening, he said, "Your job is to get the sequence. Your job is not to identify with what you're seeing and hearing."
But these are human beings that got problems, and you're supposed to help them. And yet you just want to sit back, kick back your feet, and you want to record the film. You want to get the footage. You want it's just for content.
Wiseman has given some
Come on now.
variation of that answer in interview after interview.
They had the same mindset back then and back in the 60s. That's crazy.
When he was asked whether filming naked patients made him feel complicit in their humiliation, Wiseman responded,
No, I'd seen naked men before.
then a little
Whoa.
later,
And the fact that you're working is also a kind of defense against some of the horrible things you're seeing.
but
Right.
is this kind of emotional detachment a quality we should value in documentary filmmakers?
Take your clothes off.
Besides the moral ambiguity, does it even result in better filmmaking?
It
I can
doesn't.
think of several directors whose films benefit from the love they show their
Like,
subjects.
why am I looking at a nigga's ass right here, dude? Fuck no. I'm good.
When Barbara Koppel made Harlan County, USA, she spent more than a year living with striking minors and their families. She'd even go
Whoa, what minors are we talking about? She was living with striking minors. Which one are we talking about? Whoa, now you need to get some clarification.
to the picket lines with them when she had no film left, because the people still mattered even when she could no longer capture anything. And because they trusted her, people opened up to the camera and gave her intimate access to their lives, something
Oh.
that an emotionally detached filmmaker would never be given.
God damn. Boy, that nigga's old. I see wrinkles all over his face. God damn. Shit.
Another
That nigga got wrinkles all over his shit. Like, golly, dude. Fuck.
filmmaker
He like 80 in that bit.
who favors emotional connection over detachment is Steve James, the director of Hoop Dreams.
Hoop dreams?
James describes the tension he felt when one of his subjects suffered a knee injury.
When William blew his knee out, I remember sitting in the doctor's office and thinking, this is terrible.
Oh, he was
What's
with him?
happened to him? But to be perfectly candid, there was also this little voice in the back of my head saying that this is an incredibly dramatic development, this story.
And then his larger point.
Oh.
And I think that's one of the things you wrestle with when you make documentaries in general. And any filmmaker who tells you they've got that figured out it should either stop making films or they're lying to you.
Most importantly,
Both.
he was willing to cut anything that could hurt the subjects or bring shame. For example, he asked permission before including a scene where one of the fathers buys drugs on camera.
What?
Wiseman never experienced that tension because he refused to grant any control to the subjects whatsoever, even the choice of whether they would appear in the film at all. His responsibility, as he understood it, was not to protect the subjects, intervene in their lives, or produce immediate social reform. It was to make a film.
That's
And by
sad, bro.
1973, he was explicit about that distinction. I guess I've gone very far away from the liberal cliches and bromides that I started with, especially the simple-minded social work view of help and intervention. But if Wiseman wasn't trying to produce social change, what exactly did he believe Titicut Follies was for?
The hell?
Was it just a commercial exploitation film?
Yo, I know you guys hear that. I don't know. You probably gotta turn your volume up. Is that nigga is screaming for his life, dude? God damn.
That was essentially the question raised by Jean Rouch, the filmmaker and anthropologist who helped pioneer cinema verite.
Oh,
Rouch
wow.
wanted Wiseman to explain his
Jean?
point of view, to tell the audience what the film meant to him.
What did it mean
Without
to
that
him?
perspective, Rouch believed Titicut Follies could be interpreted as nothing more than a cynical and sadomasochistic report.
Whoa, first of all, I know what cynical means, but sadomasochistic? Yo, I've never heard nobody use that word before, bro. What the fuck? And why is my boy in the back digging for gold up there? You need to chill the fuck out. Ain't nothing up there, bro. But goddamn, sadomasochistic? Golly, bro. Hey, new vocabulary. Hope you guys are taking notes.
Rouch asked John Marshall, the film's cameraman, how Wiseman had reacted to everything they witnessed. Did he take pleasure in it? Was he disturbed by it? Marshall
He probably took pleasure in it. Like, come on now.
described Wiseman's reaction as a fascination with horror,
I
which is a
bet.
strange fascination and which should have been expressed.
I told you.
Wiseman
Same
himself
thing.
used less provocative language, but described something similar.
Concrete walls and naked crazy men. I mean, what was it like for you going to work to shoot?
It was really interesting. I couldn't, basically couldn't stay away.
Ugh.
It was certainly a strange experience, but it was a fascinating one.
He liked that
That
shit.
doesn't
Yeah, horny.
necessarily mean Wiseman enjoyed watching people suffer, but it does reveal what held his attention. The institution was strange, the behavior was horrifying, and his instinct was not to intervene, empathize, or establish relationships with the people in front of him. His instinct was to be a voyeur. But the men inside Bridgewater were not the only people affected by Wiseman's way of working.
Oh, they wasn't?
John Marshall, who photographed Titicut Follies, invested thousands of dollars of his own money, and co-directed the film with Wiseman, was left out in the cold after the film was finished.
Wow.
Wiseman had created a production company to produce the film and had appointed Marshall and his wife Heather as directors of that corporation. But as the state began to take legal action, the Marshalls realized that, as directors of the corporation, the legal and financial consequences would fall on them. Marshall later said, "My mistake was not resigning earlier when I was kicked out of the editing room. At that point, I had no control over anything."
I bet.
Given Wiseman's controlling nature, it's not surprising that he kicked Marshall out of the editing room, and even less surprising that he never consulted with the Marshalls on any business decisions. He even met personally with a distributor and sold the film, only telling them about the deal afterwards.
Yo, that nigga smiles creepy as fuck. Bonnie Rosette. Ugh. Creepy ass smile, nigga.
In other words, even though Wiseman's name wasn't attached to the production company, he was the de facto director. But Marshall and his wife, who were directors in name only, would be left holding the bag for any financial damages. We can never know Wiseman's intentions behind appointing someone other than himself as director of the corporation, but given his legal background and need to be in control, I think it's safe to assume that it wasn't a benevolent choice.
Yeah.
But instead a legal shield for himself. And so despite
Yeah, all he is just worried about himself. He don't give a fuck about anybody else, just himself, you know?
working on the film
Just for his satisfaction.
for free and investing thousands of dollars of his own money, Marshall and his wife resigned from the company, and according to him, he never saw a penny in return.
Damn.
His directing credit also disappeared.
Oh.
When Titicut Follies was first completed, he had been credited as both photographer and co-director. Today, Wiseman alone receives the directing credit. And so,
The directing credit and the editor. God damn, bro.
almost everyone involved in the making of this film was negatively affected by Wiseman's actions.
I bet,
Did
bro.
the film, at the very least, actually improve conditions at Bridgewater?
Hell no.
Unsurprisingly, the superintendent thought that Titicut Follies only had negative effects.
I bet.
One of the
You
primary
thought it was gonna get positive effects after that film? Fuck no, my nigga.
sources of suffering for the inmates was the archaic Civil War era buildings.
All men are in sleeping quarters now that were built in the 1880s and 1890s.
Yo, Mouse, get the fuck. Yo. I swear to God, dude.
Go from
And you
running
give me an ad. Thanks a lot, Mouse. This is your fault, my nigga.
was the archaic Civil
Wait.
Superintendent thought that
Whoa, wait. Jay does that? Wait, hold on. My bad, y'all. I'm pressing the buttons. So, wait, I did not know this. So, J and L, you can go back? Oh, shit. Hey, I'm learning new buttons in this bitch. What the fuck? I did not know J and L does this. Hold on, let me chill. I might break YouTube. Whoa. Let me go back. Wait, hold on. Let me test all the buttons out. Okay, that's why. Hold on. Why am I playing around with this? My bad. I'm fucking crazy, dude. Let me go back.
was the archaic Civil War
My bad,
era
y'all.
buildings.
All men are in sleeping quarters now that were built in the 1880s and 1890s.
For years, the superintendent had been working with the Massachusetts legislature and the governor's office to build a new hospital.
Oh, new
When
one?
it was finally approved and moving forward, Titicut Follies emerged. According to him, instead of being of help, Mr. Wiseman was responsible for our almost complete loss of the whole venture. He said Wiseman's approach was viewed by the professional organizations involved as a violation of trust.
Thank you. Like I knew this shit was gonna happen, dude. Because it's like, why are you doing this? You did not give no consent, no nothing. You were just filming it for your satisfaction. And you didn't get no money back from it. So what was the point of doing it? Because you was horny. Let me
That
chill.
it was only after the courts began criticizing Wiseman's conduct that the reform efforts already underway were able to continue.
Weirdo.
But still, there is evidence that the film did contribute to reform. A psychiatrist who later became Bridgewater's treatment director said it changed the moral climate surrounding the institution.
Cap.
That changing climate helped produce a class action lawsuit and court orders requiring Bridgewater to provide better treatment. Some of the other staff members also described meaningful improvements: more employees, greater support for those employees, and fewer inmates.
Oh,
but it's
wow.
also clear that Bridgewater did not suddenly become humane.
Mom sues psychiatric prison. Alleged son isolated for 6,300 hours, shackled to bed. 2014? Yo, what the fuck, my nigga? You shackled to the bed for 6,300 hours? Isn't that like... I'm just gonna make a random guess. I don't know. 6,300 hours. Isn't that like... So there's 24 hours in a day. It's more than a month. Like 2 months, my nigga? You've been shackled to the bed for 2 months? That's just a random guess. It could be more than that or it could be less. Who knows? But god damn, bro. What the fuck? Yeah. Hopefully she got the money if she sues the place.
Neglect and preventable deaths continued long after the documentary was made.
3 million? Oh yeah, I like to hear that shit. Good shit. Should I read all this? Hold on, let me read this. Let me read this, cause I'm a good reader. A $3 million settlement was paid to the parents of a 23-year-old, also the same age as me. Okay, that's wild. Mental health patient killed? Whoa, hold on. Whoa, by 3 guards at Bridgewater State Hospital who were attempting to strap him to a 4-point restraint on a small bed. The incident, never mind. It goes, the incident also resulted in the resignation of the state's top prison officials. Only Mouse, how are you moving? And I'm not even fucking touching you. Only Massachusetts and one other state have their prison systems run their state mental health facility for criminal defendant base. MHM Correctional Service provides medical and mental health service to prisoners and pretrial detainees. Bridgewater, what? I can't even read this shit. What does that shit say? Detainees Bridgewater, which is operated as a medium security prison. I'm not reading all this shit, bro. If you guys want to read it, now this is way too much, but I'm gonna run out of breath after this shit. You got me fucked up.
So the answer is not that Titicut Follies simply helped or simply hurt. It exposed an abusive institution and may have contributed to improvements inside it. But it also harmed individual men whose humiliation became permanently available to audiences they never agreed to face.
You got them performing a show? Like, what is this? This is what they're doing inside the fucking facility? They performing this type shit? Oh, hell no. You got me fucked up.
And I think that if the camera had been turned on Wiseman, instead of on the mentally ill men at Bridgewater, we would have seen an isolated, self-centered man with a strange fascination for the horrors around him.
Yeah.
A man who did not see his subjects as individuals, but as evidence he could use against the state.
Yup.
Because in Wiseman's version of the story, the state was the villain and he was the victim. The courageous filmmaker being persecuted for revealing the truth. But in reality, the inmates were the ones suffering.
Yup.
And they were the ones who continued paying the price after Wiseman's film made their most humiliating moments permanent. Wiseman told us that his job was to get the sequence, not to identify with what he was seeing. He told us that working protected him from the suffering in front of his camera. He repeatedly dismissed intervention as a sentimental distraction from the work. And as we learned from Steve James, a filmmaker who says these things
should either stop making films or they're lying to you.
Facts. Like, good note to leave it off. Wait, was that the end? Hold on. Or is there more? Oh, okay. I fuck with that. I'm gonna give this a like. This is a W video. Shout out to the projectionist for the video. Original video will be in the link in the description. Subscribe if you are new. Like the video if you like the video. I need to start saying that because y'all niggas don't be liking this shit, bro. And I'm out.